Matt, you're on.
Hello everybody, hope everybody is doing well today. It is a very nice Thursday evening around here, and I just have to say these days there's just a lot of cronyism, there's a lot of fraud, misuse of power, and it's terrorizing our entire neighborhood. And there's been a lot of conflicts of interest with the police department, with people who are in charge, and I've done videos on former Senator Mark Manendo, who just recently resigned over sexual misconduct allegations, but unfortunately we're hearing a different story from my friend. And her story is pretty interesting, it's pretty complex, and a lot of dots have to be connected together. So I'm here with Sarah Van Curen. Hello, Sarah. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome. Yourself? Okay. So tell us a little bit. First of all, I hope you're feeling okay, because this has been a pretty drastic, intense couple of years. And I just wish the best for you. I know you don't totally deserve this, and I hopefully recover, see you go through it. And first start off, let's start from the beginning, okay? Let's go to 2014, 15. What exactly happened?
I was seeing a guy named Richard Essex, and it was an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I got out of the relationship. He had taken me for everything. I lost my home. I was physically abused. It was terrible. Also, at the same time, he was going through a custody battle with his ex-wife, Vanessa. And Vanessa remarried to Detective Snodgrass. And so every weekend they would fight over little Ricky and like who's raising him properly, this, that. I mean, every single weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't report the abuse to the police. I just wanted to leave. I went and I lived in an assisted living care facility, and I just wanted to heal and get on with my life. I think not reporting Rick for what he did to me maybe upset Detective Snodgrass, but definitely I know for sure now that I've been blacklisted ever since January 6th, when I posted that I was happy that Richard Essex was in jail.
January 6th of what year? 2015. Okay. And so you were in an abusive relationship, you didn't report it, and he was having problems with his ex-wife, right?
Yes.
Okay, so wow. So pretty intense moment for you. You lived in an assisted care facility, and you didn't report what you were supposed to do. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to just move on with my life and just heal. Physical, mental, financial. You know, it was December 24th, 2014 when Richard Essex was arrested.
2014.
Yeah, but then
Okay.
that was December, Christmas Eve. And then I was in New Orleans. I wasn't even here. And I had heard through the grapevine that he was arrested, and I was just like so happy that he finally kind of got his a little bit. And I posted it on Facebook. It was about like 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning or something. And I go, yeah, Richard Essex, like, he's in there. Like, yes, you know, we're turning around. A few hours later, I got a message from Senator Manendo saying, like, oh, thank you for the friend request. I don't know or how.
Wait, you friend requested him?
I don't think so, because I was in New Orleans. Like, why would I?
Somebody hacked in your account.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm sure that through Facebook they can verify.
This is where Manendo comes in, right?
Yes.
Okay, so those of you who don't know who Senator Manendo is, he was a former state senator, and he covers a good chunk of this valley. I don't know.
District 21.
District 21, so I think somewhere around in this neighborhood, probably in the east.
East side, yes.
And he just resigned a while ago, but I think he's still affecting a lot of our policies today. I haven't met him in person, but I will tell you that this guy has obviously, from talking to him on the phone, he's not been a pretty friendly person. I don't know, maybe he was having a rough day at work. And also, if you guys don't know, he helped introduce a bill for light rail transit on Maryland Parkway, not too far from here. And that bill is now officially into law. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not so excited about that. But that's a little bit about Manendo. He just resigned over allegations. But what the media is telling you is different from what she is telling you. So we'll get to that later. So tell me a little bit about Manendo and about what was going on. So he messaged you and you were exchanging back and forth?
No, he messaged me several hours after I had posted on Facebook that I was happy, I believe, that, Richard Essex, like, what's next? Like, what's next that's going to be good to happen, for the new year? A few hours later, he had contacted me. Thank you for the friend request. I'm Senator Mark Manendo. Are you on Twitter? I see you lost your dog. I hope you find that fur baby. And, I hadn't found my dog at that time, so I didn't respond. I didn't respond at all.
So he was talking to you about your dog, even though it was just...
Well, he just like, hey, like, what's up? Are you, and I was just like, fuck this guy. I'm in New Orleans. Like, who's this guy? I didn't know who he was. Like, I'm not in politics. I just, you're Mark Manendo. Like, okay, what does that tell? I didn't answer. I didn't respond. I didn't respond at all. He messaged me again for a second time, a year and 9 months later, which coincidentally was also a time when Richard Essex had just been arrested also. So
he got arrested 2015?
And 2016, a year and 9 months later, it was the second time that Senator Manendo contacted me.
Okay, so you've been contacted 2 times from the senator. And then what happened... Tell us, the viewers, again, what happened in 2014?
In 2014, I was seeing Richard Essex. He's a tattoo artist biker. He's in a Tribe Motorcycle Club. His father is the president of Tribe Motorcycle Club.
December of 2014?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, at the same time, their arch enemy is Detective Snodgrass and Lieutenant Snodgrass, his father. So they've been enemies for like a generation to the family. And then Richard Essex, his ex-wife, remarried to Detective Snodgrass, the enemy kind of.
Okay, so detectives and ex-wife are enemies of Essex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So anyway, Richard was arrested on Christmas Eve. For like a drug charge or something?
2014?
Yes.
Funny how my family were staying at the Luxor at December 2014. So, what a coincidence. But anyway, so he got arrested for drug trafficking, and this was located here?
Yes.
Okay. So I see. And then going on to 2015.
January 6th.
Okay. And that's when Manendo started to message you about all that stuff. So then, tell us.
Facebook is a big player in this. Facebook is not private at all, and it has not been for a very long time.
Yes, and you have lots of copies of the messages.
I have about 300 messages of Senator Manendo harassing me. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And
it doesn't stop.
And you should show to the viewers exactly what those messages are.
Okay.
Because even though he has resigned, don't think that it's over for him. He
needs... So he started again in September, September 27th of 2016, and didn't stop until March 2017. I started complaining about it in November 2016. I complained to the ACLU several times, the Victims of Crime Program, the National Victim Bar Association, the Citizens Review Board, the Review Journal, George Knapp. I mean, I did what I could with the nothing that I had, and I kept getting letters back saying dismissed, saying like my handwriting.
They didn't do
ineligible.
anything. Son of a gun, they didn't do anything.
No, they didn't do anything, and I get a letter back on April 25th, saying, like, dismissed, we don't see any police reports. And then on the 27th was when it came out into the news about Senator Manendo. And I just thought, that's me. I've been trying to tell people. And they say that the victim wants to remain anonymous because she doesn't want to upset her boyfriend. His lawyer, his attorney says that he feels very strongly that he will be exonerated. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? That they're going to just get rid of me or something?
So it's kind of like the news agencies had a conflicts of interest with the senator.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is why I think, like, most of the people who have positions of power, most of the news agencies and so forth, they're all interconnected, they're all teaming up. And that's why it's up to us and some of the people that I've just called on the phone, people who are running for county commissioner, people who are running for Congress or whatever, to make sure that we have checks and balances here. Because this is really, really getting out of hand. And I don't know what to tell you. So, and then when they reported, I guess they were reporting you, but they were reporting you in a not correct way, right?
Yeah, they were just totally ignoring me. I with my Medicaid, I have no Medicaid anymore. I go to ask for assistance. I went to the Cambridge Community Center, and I was just telling them, like, I need, like, housing. I'm a victim of gang violence. Is there any kind of resources you can give me? And they told me they would be right back. And they came back with 2 EMT and 2 officers, and they arrested me as if I were crazy.
They arrested you for asking for help?
Well, brought me to the psych ward and held me on a legal 2000. And then I woke up, and after they tranquilized me, and I had no resources. I was living in I was living in a barn stall, hiding from these gang members.
Can you believe this? Can you guys believe this? That they would arrest her for asking for help?
At Cambridge Community Center on September 29th, 2016.
I'd have to say, I've lived for more than 25 years. You're probably one of the most undeserving, I mean...
I wasn't meant to survive this. I don't think many people do.
Not undeserving, that's not the right word, but probably...
Nobody deserves to go through this.
I know, that's what I mean, but you really, really don't.
I'm a witness and a victim of police brutality. And I wanted help, and the first place that I went to for help was the day after it had happened, Internal Affairs, and they told me to go to Shade Tree.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about... So you had Manendo contact you in 2015. Now let's go on further. How did bring the story about there was some police brutality that you encounter with the LVMPD, and this was at some hotel in the Rampart Casino. Mm-hmm. Rampart Casino, those of you who don't know, it's in Summerlin, west part of the valley. And you're also telling me that you were with some people that have burglarized people's homes, or something happened in Southern Highlands. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
What's that? Okay. Oh, the doggy.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got a little bit twisted. I know it's complicated.
Yeah, but tell us about the police issue.
Okay, so as Senator Manendo said, see, you lost your dog. I hope you find that fur baby. My dog was lost for 20 months and 3 days. Mm-hmm. I finally found him on May 16th, 2016, and it was awesome. I found him, and I wanted to have a celebratory dinner with my boyfriend, Jason Simpson. And so we went out. This was on the 18th. Went out for dinner, and then we came home, and then he said that he wanted to go out for a minute and come back. Well, he came back with Michael Sousa Ariota in the car, and he's not allowed in my house. And I said, "What? Like, you're really with him? Like, what are you doing?" "Oh, babe, I'll be back. Don't worry." And I was upset because he was supposed to be like hanging out with me and the dogs, and like just spending the night with me. A couple hours went by. He was still gone, and I just felt like a pain, like something was wrong. Maybe it's not answering the phone. I text him. He's not returning my texts. he didn't come home until the next day at 12, and he was just pale. I could tell something bad happened. I didn't know what bad happened. He didn't tell me, but I knew that something awful happened. His behavior was just erratic. He was stressed. He was worried. He was like indecisive. It turns out like so when I tell you things, like there's things that I didn't know then that I know now.
Mm-hmm.
So
hidden information.
Yeah. So I don't know how to like tell it. Was like at the time I did not know that this was also occurring. You know, with the different with things. So on May 23rd, Senator Manendo announced on the news that he wanted to work with Metro, hoofing it through neighborhoods to help cut down on crime because his friend was home invaded and pistol whipped. Also, on May 23rd, an arrest warrant was issued for Jason Simpson for this apparent shooting. What had happened was, like, on the 18th, when him and Michael Sousa went to go help this girl, Anna, with her car, apparently 45 minutes before that, Jason had made an illegal left turn, and whichever officers saw him do that illegal left turn, they felt that they should call for backup and called Bolton Area Command, Detective Snodgrass, which is a conflict of interest. So when they turned on the lights, Sousa got stressed out. I guess he shot the gun out the back window, and nobody got hurt. It ricocheted off the top of the building. There's no shells found, no gun found. Jason panicked and he drove off, and if anything, he should have just been charged with, but still it's duress. Like, what do you do if somebody shoots a gun in your backseat? Do you really pull over and go, I'm just going to wait right here for officers to come get you? Like,
you have to take action.
Well, it's kind of like nobody really knows what to do in that situation. But anyway, later we found out that Michael Sousa Ariota is an informant, and so he's working with police and Senate. So it's on the 24th. Detective Snodgrass is missing from Jason's investigation when they're trying to find him. He's in Richard Essex courtroom for trial. He should have been doing his job with his investigation, not a part of a case that he has nothing to do with. It's his stepson's father, right? I feel like I'm losing you. I am, huh? Or
no, you're fine.
Okay.
We'll make sure the viewers are not lost or anything. So then let's just get to the police brutality. Okay,
so on the 25th, a drone was above our car.
A drone?
A drone.
For what?
I don't know. I mean, we were just driving, and I thought Jason was paranoid, and then I look up, and sure enough, right above our car is a four-legged machine. And I felt like, I don't know, maybe it was there to keep track so the cars could see from afar or something. I don't know, but I just thought maybe we should go somewhere where the drone can't follow, like underneath something. So it was my bright idea to go into under a parking structure, maybe. I didn't know what he did. I just knew that he was in trouble. We pulled into Rampart parking structure, and we just parked, and I was just like, oh, what is going on? You know, what did you do? And I look up, and a car just unmarked car just rams their car into my side, and then rams another one into his side. All of a sudden, there's people all around saying, "Get the fuck out of the car! Put your hands on your head." And I'm realizing, what? This.
So the drone was for police.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know what it was very scary. Before they even finished saying the sentence, they smashed out the windows, and I just remember feeling hands on my face and on my neck, rip me out of the window, and I saw Jason that just put his hands on his head. They ripped him out, just threw him down on the ground. They pulled me back behind the car that had smashed on our left side, and the name calling, and oh my god, my legs were slit from glass, and then Jason was on the ground, and the one detective had his foot on his head while the other one was punching him. I have the video and the pictures.
Yeah, and the viewers, just to let you know, if it's okay, we will show you the pictures, a little bit about what's going on. So this was the Rampart parking structure, right?
At about 4:38.
And you literally were hurt by the police.
Yes.
Did you get arrested?
On a traffic ticket. Jason, they said that Jason was out of control and hit detectives with a weapon, gun or something, but he didn't have a gun. Jason didn't do anything, not at all. He was totally compliant. He was belly down on the ground while they were treating his head like a soccer ball. They were calling me names like lasagna, vagina, fucking whore. Shut up, you stupid slut, don't be so modest, because I was crying for help. I was saying, help, help, please. And they were just imitating me, going like, boo-hoo, and it went on for a long time. It's like they were sitting around, not just letting us sit there. Like they went and they dragged Jason up and sat him on the staircase. And then, so he could view them while they circled around me, taking videos with their own phones, taking pictures, calling me names, like laughing. I was in a lot of pain. Like they wouldn't give me my shoes or my purse or my phone or my IDs. Like I knew I was, then they let me know, oh, you have a traffic ticket. So I knew that, okay, well, can I have my money so I can pay it? Like I had like $1,300 in my purse. Like I could have paid it. Like that was my rent, and I could have paid it, but they wouldn't give it to me. They said that they won't give it to me because it's evidence. But they pulled a sheet out of the same car and wrapped it around me later to be taken off to CCDC. But there was no reason why I couldn't at least have the jail slippers when they released me. I had to walk 2 hours barefoot home with injuries.
2 hours barefoot home.
Yeah, I mean, I had no phone, no money, no ID, no work cards, no.
They just stripped it all away from you.
Yeah,
but you could sue for your rights.
Well, I'm trying, but like no lawyers will help me, so I'm trying to.
Why not? I mean, if you.
Because I'm blacklisted. Like I don't know what else to do. Like
blacklisted, but you have rights.
Right. I don't know how to do everything. I'm like dealing with my PTSD. I'm dealing with like still being offended by Senator Manendo. Like he's still doing things. It's hard. It's hard. I can't do a million things at once. It's really hard. I tried. I've been trying. I need a break. Is it okay? Sorry.
It's fine. Apparently she needs a break, so. All right, we had to take a break. Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well. She needed some break, got a little bit of emotions, but that's perfectly fine. It's a very intense moment. So let's continue with what happened with the police brutality. And in this video, we'll talk a little bit about how I believed you were raped or something. And then also tell us some images that you see in this office right here. Lastly, but not least, about the solutions that we can do to really get this thing going to the point where it needs to be. So.
Okay. So the shooting at the police happened on May 18th, 2016. Jason was the driver of the car. Michael Susario was in the back seat of the car. The only witness is Anna Becker, who is in a relationship with the same detective that beat us up. But you know, on May 16th, I found my dog, right? And people were messaging me all kinds of things, and I just recently was remembering that this odd message that I received on the 19th of May, the day after the shooting, is this. I don't know what it means. I've contacted a linguistics person. You say it's Farsi or something?
Oh no, this, in case if you guys haven't noticed, I do speak Farsi. I don't know how to read it other than numbers, but this is not Farsi. So he gave you this, right?
Yeah, this was anonymous Facebook person messaging it to me, and they didn't say anything. They just said this, that's it. And I didn't think much of it. I didn't understand it. I didn't even know what ISIS or any of these things were at the time. So anyway, carry on. Like the 23rd, the Senator Mark Manendo's on the news for getting involved with Metro because his friend was home invaded and pistol whipped. A few hours later, though, in the news, they edited out the pistol whipping part for some reason. I've researched to see what the pistol whipping was. I mean, that kind of thing would hit the news. There's a few instances, but Michael Seuss's MO was pistol whipping and home invading. The 24th, Detective Snodgrass, the day before, had issued an arrest warrant for Jason. He was missing, though. He wasn't there. Maybe he was busy in Rick Essex's day one trial. The May 25th, Detective Snodgrass is missing again at the arrest at Rampart Parking Structure when we had a drone follow us there. And then we had, I'd say maybe 10, 12 detectives all in their cars surrounding us. And Detective Snodgrass is missing, but he did write the discovery. He wrote that Jason attacked officers with a deadly weapon and that he was resisting arrest. And that is not what you see in the video at all. Maybe perhaps because Detective Snodgrass wrote the discovery before it happened because he wasn't even there. So, but here's what really happened. See this detective putting this foot on Jason's head, and the other one's punching him. I mean, I have
this right here.
This is them just punching on him. This one detective is on the car like a monkey
May
or something.
25th, 2016, 4 in the morning?
Yes.
Wow.
It took them 18 months to give me this footage. 18 months for a crime that Jason did not do. Of course, forensics had proved that he did not commit that shooting. So they've had him in there for that, but now they're trying to say that he's in there because he attacked them when we got arrested, and he did not. He just got 8 to 20 years for that.
And he's right in jail.
Yeah, for a crime he did not do, and for an attack on officers that he did not do.
Unbelievable. You know, being accused of a crime that you've never done is probably one of the worst things that could ever happen to your life. I will tell you that.
Right. After slander and libel slander, defamation of character, perjury, libel slander, it counts when somebody writes in a document that is intended to make believe. What better than an affidavit for search warrant? Detective Snodgrass had come to the station when I got taken there on May 25th, and he pulled me aside. I was wondering, why can't I leave? Why can't I have my money to pay for my traffic ticket? I have the money. Why can't I leave? They pulled me aside, and I was thinking Detective Snodgrass would want to talk about what had happened.
And how much was the traffic ticket? Sorry to interrupt.
Well, it ended up nothing because it was like the brakes were broken, so I rear-ended because the brakes failed. So it ended up being nothing. I went to court, friends and family of the court, and they.
That's good. In this area, you can get your traffic ticket. Those of you who don't know. So, what about Snodgrass?
Snodgrass.
Snodgrass. Okay. All right.
So he pulled me aside from the other girls in intake, and I saw him, and I remember him because that was my ex's son's stepfather, and I just said, "Oh wow, how are you? I miss little Ricky." This is kind of weird under these circumstances. I'm not arrested. I mean, I used to see him pick up little Ricky, not be in custody. He did not want to know about what happened at Rampart. He did not want to know what happened on May 18th. He wanted to know about crimes that Rick Essex had committed.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Rick had committed a armed robbery, burglary, kidnapping at Bailey's Sports Bar.
Mm-hmm.
He had held a gun that I own and that I had given his father a long time ago, and he stole it from his father, and he committed that crime, held the bartender, hogtied him, and I told Snodgrass, look, I'm happy that you have full custody. Rick is an evil person. That was my gun. I don't know where it is now, but I mean, I'm so happy he's with you. And, you know, unbeknownst to me, that wasn't the case. I did not know that he was in trial with for Rick Essex that day, just that day. And he got off for that Bailey Sports Bar. There wasn't enough evidence, so maybe because the gun couldn't be identified. I don't know. I can only imagine, but you know, he had to write an affidavit for search warrant and leave it in the car that Jason was driving earlier that night. In that affidavit on page 7, it says perjury, libel, slander that has put mine and Jason's life in danger, since he had left that document in the car of the girlfriend of the gang leader that actually was the shooter on May 18th.
Wow.
So, being the shooter, reading that document, that Jason's going to give up information to work off charges and information about a shooting, that really upset the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Jason being incarcerated, it had next person would be me. I mean,
but thank goodness you're still around.
Yeah, after being home invaded a few times.
This home?
Not this home, no. I was living on 6th Street. So I got home. I know it was hard. On May 26th.
Home? Was it a home or an apartment?
A house. That's not important. It's like.
Yeah, because apartments they have security or something. I don't know. So Snodgrass let me go. Out back. He sent me back into be tied up with the other girls. The only person that really realized what was going on was someone in own recognizance. Everyone else was calling me a drunk driver because of all the cuts and I was in distress. I said, give me my money so I can pay my traffic ticket so I can leave. Give me my shoes, please. How am I going to get home? Next thing I know, I'm being strapped to a gurney and sent on a legal 2000 hold to UMC. I was crying hysterically, like, give me my stuff. I have my work cards, my ID, my money, my phone, my shoes. How am I going to get home? How am I going to pay rent? Why can't I at least have jail slippers? So they send me to UMC. Within a couple hours, they realize that I'm not crazy. However, the doctor grabbed my foot and kind of and the little shards of glass just felt like, it was very painful, and I kind of yelped, and he said, if you yelp and you make a problem, you're going to have to stay for the full 72 hours. So I bit my tongue, and they let me go, and that was the worst traumatizing walk. Nobody would help me. I looked terrible with the cuts, with the dress, with no shoes. I must have asked 20 people for a ride or to let me use their phone. It's not fair that the CCDC and the UMC just spat me out without my property. I mean, so even the UMC did not give you the help that you wanted.
No.
So the police department is not helping you. The medical services are not. The lawyers are not helping. Everywhere you turn, you're being screwed in the you-know-what. Can you believe this, folks? This is how insane and how conflicting things have become. You know, the problem that I've noticed really nowadays is that police are not providing protection. Hospitals are not providing medicine like they should. Schools are not providing education. Food, whether it's from a grocery store or restaurant, are not providing nutrition. I mean, nowadays it's become a joke. It really has. And it's very, very shocking. And I guess nowadays it's like if you want to get real service, it's like you have to be wise or lucky.
Right. Like the only way for us to rise up is to know our rights and to make those complaints and to know what to do and know how to file these motions and know where to go. Being a victim, it's kind of hard taking those steps. And they knew that. They knew it would be hard and most likely wouldn't have the strength to do it and give up. But if we all educated ourselves with what to do and to stick up for ourselves and complain against them, then things would change. But they've just made it so difficult and so awful. It's like re-victimizing the victim. Keep making it hard by making it harder. So about an hour through the walk, I took a nap behind a bush. I was so tired, mentally, emotionally. I was humiliated. Where's my stuff? I was hurt. Another hour walking, I went to my acquaintances. From there, I got a ride, and I had to go because like that wasn't our car. I had to go to the owner of the car, and I had to tell her like, look, your car is messed up. My stuff is in there. She might want to know, right? So I have my friend drive me to Elaine's house, and we get there. And she opens the door, and she's just fabulous, right? Like she was with us in the car, but she had wanted out.
Elaine.
Yes, the owner of the car. But when the drone was following us,
and the house was right around the neighborhood, right?
No, where we were was northwest. Where she got out, where she lives is southeast. How did she get home? I mean, I know. So like. I asked her, I said, Elaine, oh my God, are you okay? And she goes, what are you talking about? Well, 24 hours ago, a drone was following us and you were tripping and you didn't want to be in the car and your car is messed up. We have to go. And I mean, Jason's arrested. And I was telling her. And she goes, oh, I have no ties to that car. And I say, Elaine, like, what do you mean you don't have any ties to that car? And she tells me, Sarah, memory loss is a #1 side effect of lupus. And I tell her, no, it isn't. I know lupus. I know that's not a side effect. And she has no recollection of how she got home. She doesn't care about the car. She just wants to shut the door and just not help. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why doesn't she care? I mean,
now you have problems with her.
Well, no, I mean, obviously she was working with police on some level. She made some kind of deal or something. She's happy. She doesn't care about the car. She has no ties. She has no recollection of how she got home, yada, yada. Not a friend, basically. So, you know, I'm upset at this point. I decided to hitchhike to Internal Affairs. I ditched my friend, and I'm on a mission. So I go to Internal Affairs, and I meet up. And I talked with, they assigned Detective Gregory Stinnett. And I'm telling him, like, we were beat up by police. They took my stuff. I have no shoes, my phone, my boyfriend. Like, this is awful. And then he tells me, go to Shade Tree. It took me 3 weeks to get my phone and my money back. I kind of messed things up with my landlord. I couldn't work because they had my work cards. I don't know if you could imagine, like, how...
You couldn't work?
Because they had my work cards, my ID, my bank cards, my money, my cell phone.
So what do you do then? No money.
Right. My landlord's kind of upset. So it really messed things up for me, and they just didn't care. I mean, I'm on the phone with the evidence vault and then nonstop. Detective Linda Theobald. It took 3 weeks to get my things back. They knew that would hurt.
How did you survive?
Selling my stuff, selling Jason's stuff. It gets... Unbelievable.
I mean, to live out here, you need at least $200 a week to survive.
Well,
or something like that. I don't know. I mean, there's food, you know, there's all these different things. I mean, then I don't know if there's shelters or all these different things,
well,
but
yeah, I had a home.
yeah, it's very heartbreaking. I can understand, but obviously, if you have a family member, you know, that does help. But every situation is different. So. Okay, so that's a pretty.
You know, like it's.
Mm-hmm.
I see the things happening in my head.
So show us. Go ahead.
Show us what?
Show us some of the photos of what you've been through and what are the evidence that you've collected. I have some images right here. Did I show you this right here?
You can see on the wall right there.
Look at this. So you can see here, she has a map of the terror attacks in France.
No, let's see. Like, see right here is the detective stomping on Jason's head. Well, this one's like punching him. So he's punching him. Not in any way does Jason ever attack officers. Again, they're still wailing on him while his foot is still on his head. There I am, I'm screaming. I posted on Sergeant Zeros's gun ammo video on YouTube. This is my comment for him.
Oh, so look at this, a YouTube comment right here.
Sergeant Zeros, you are a... You need to resign. You terrorized me. You're a stalker. When you smashed the windows and ripped us out of the car, May 25th, 2016, at Rampart Parking Structure, you called me names like fucking whore, lasagna vagina, don't be so modest, slut. You and Detective Theobald are savages. It wasn't my fault. You made me stand there in broken glass, my dress ridden up. I couldn't pull my dress down because I was handcuffed. You were making a spectacle of my helplessness. You are a heartless, cold monster. Then you and your cruel team were kicking and punching my boyfriend in the face, crotch, stomach. He wasn't resisting. You pummeled him. And where did that surveillance video go? It took them 18 months to give it to me.
And then show us a little bit about, you've got here, this is Senator Mark Manendo. You've got all these images right here. You have Mark Manendo right here. And you have news stories right here. So, you know, this is, and then this is Aaron Roos. Images of Aaron Roos right around here. Okay, so let's see right here. And then, may I look at these right here?
You can look at whatever you want.
Okay, so this is her, September 2016, the incident we were just talking about. So, so you got to notice this part right here, okay? And then you've got, let's see if we've got any more.
This is the shooting, like to stay on track and not jump ahead too much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, police don't protect you. You're falsely accused. Your lawyers are not there. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. So
I'd like to talk about Dominic Maritita and Jonathan Micah, home invading the mother of three looking for Toby. So back to 2016, I know we took ahead a little bit. Back to 2016, May 31st, I was with Sherry Creeth. Sherry Creeth, she wanted to find Eleni because she believed Eleni had her car. On the way there, we stopped to buy cigarettes. And this is on Eastern and Warm Springs, and we run into my friend Toby. You see, Toby helped me find my dog, and I love Toby. He's the only person that went into the tunnels, because that's where my dog was, with the tunnel people. And and so we see Toby, and you know, at first Sherry dismisses Toby. She thinks that he's like like not in 48, but she sees his car, and then all of a sudden she wants to exchange numbers with him. So they exchange numbers, and so be it. On June 3rd, Detective Snodgrass picked me up from my house with Detective Miller to finally get a statement about what happened on May 25th, which he should have on May 25th got my statement about what happened on May 25th then. But instead he wanted to know about what happened on September 3rd, 2015.
So this is May 23rd, 2003. Senator urges neighborhood watch after crime spike right here. Now look at this. Look at all these images right here. Look at this. Ghetto. Look at this. All this crime on the rise. 80% increase in violent crime. This is some serious, serious stuff. This is why people are getting really pissed. There's a situation like her. There's a lot of people believe, I'm not sure, don't get me wrong for this, that the shooting that happened about a month ago was totally inside, was totally fabricated. People are demanding that this current sheriff, Joe Lombardo, has to resign. Because this is just getting really... I mean, 80% increase in violent crime. Now, I just hope that crime is not at its all-time high, because I don't know if it is, but there might have been a drop in violent crime before, because I think there's crime waves here. Crime gets really high, then it starts to come down. And I'm speaking to a lot of people who are running for public office. This man, you want to look him up, Michelle Tracy. I don't know too much about him. We had a half-hour-long conversation, and we were talking about crime and how we're concerned about it. He's running for county commissioner. He's having an event this coming Tuesday around the 215 and Fort Apache, because this is a very, very serious situation. And this is why I'm concerned about the stadium, because our resources that could be used for her situation and the nonsense that's happening here is instead being funneled in the stadium. And guess what? The stadium is likely to increase your crime levels. And of course, they're going to make us pay the tax for the infrastructure and the police officers and everything. This is just a vicious, vicious cycle. And by the way, this is why I think Sisolak is running for governor. So he's trying to make sure that all this stuff continues to happen. And by the way, Mr. Sisolak, you're the chair of the county commissioner. What do you think about this? What do you think about her situation?
I told him. I messaged him.
I've seen this guy many times. Look at this. May 23rd, 2000.
The thing is, yeah, why did the news edit the pistol whipping part out?
Where did they edit the pistol whip?
You see, this is what this is about. See?
Right here, pistol whip. They're fabricating the story.
See, and now it doesn't say pistol whip in the second video hours later.
Unbelievable.
The senator...
So all these news agencies, they're all collaborating right here. They're fabricating the story. I mean, look at this. This guy that reports 80% increase in violent crime. This is from a realtor's office. This is hurting business in this area. And by the way, this crime spike is happening all over the country, all over the world. I mean, I think Europe is in worse scenario. I think Europe has been through worse change than they have experienced here.
Especially in Geneva and France.
Yeah, well, there's the refugee crisis, and unfortunately, very few refugees have seen their arrivals into this area. Although I was in the Palace Station buffet, I did see somebody that looked like a Somali refugee. But again, that's very, very few. And again, I can't say that she is one. I can't judge her from her look. But anyway, the point is that thank goodness it's not as bad, but it is quite horrible what we're seeing here. So look at this. Police searching for a man who shot 2 Metro officers. Look at this, May 18, 2016. What happened there, just to clarify?
Okay, that was when Sousa shot out the back window of Jason's car. And then Detective Snodgrass took over the investigation because Jason made an illegal left-hand turn, supposedly. And then on May 23rd, which was that day, Detective Snodgrass issued an arrest warrant for Jason. Manendo posted on the news that he's working with police. I have 300 plus messages of Senator Manendo wanting to know my address, where I'm at, intimidating me, belittling me, making me feel like he was my only hope, and that it was my fault that I didn't want to meet him in the places that he suggested to talk about the police brutality that happened to me on May 25th. What was happening with my rape detective, with my rape case. I was green-lighted by a gang because a detective wrote that my boyfriend is a snitch. Since he was incarcerated for the crime that he's apparently snitching on, Michael Sousa Ariota announced anyone who helps Jason Simpson will be taxed or left in the desert. So when we were at the...
So they're going to charge you a special tax if they help you with Jason Simpson?
Anyone.
Who?
His friends? Anyone, my friends?
No. Not who, if you help. How are they going to charge you a special... I've never heard
tax,
such a thing.
Like steal, like items, home invade, take your things.
And who is going to steal?
Michael Sousa Ariota and his gang.
Oh, okay. I thought the government was going to tax something. I apologize. So,
well, it's
steal
kind of
anything...
Similar. I mean,
okay.
The Senate... Michael Sousa Ariota did abduct me with Josiah Minot, molest me, and tase me, and then they took me to the senator's fucking office condo.
And the senators collaborated with all these bastards. I mean, can you believe this? And I don't blame you. You're in your home. You're very concerned. You're concerned about your future. I hope you're getting enough sleep every other day, because I can understand your situation, and I'd love to help you. And I'm also curious about the fact that whether
police and gang and Senate are working together to rid victims and witnesses of police brutality.
They could put my life in danger. Did you hear that, folks? They could make BS, they could make lies and propaganda and all this load of crap on me. Did you hear that, folks? So if you guys hear false allegations about me in the Review Journal, The Sun, News 3, all these corrupt agencies or whoever, let me tell you something. Be aware of lies and disinformation about me, because they're upset that I'm a young man who's reporting on this incident, who's trying to investigate about what's going on, and they don't want the truth out, okay? But we are tired of lies and deception, and there are people like me with balls who are willing to kick some butt. Now take a look at this. This is right here, Senator Mark Manendo. These are all the messages that you have here. I can't read the whole thing. And this is from...
It says, if you really thought
Snodgrass.
Why did you want to meet in the first place? I thought you wanted to meet, but if you don't, then that is fine as well. As I said, I also know someone who asked me to also talk to you besides the person you mentioned. So I agreed to. However, I am not going to keep asking as I keep pretty busy, not sure how much free time you have.
Okay, and then stalking, intimidating a victim, witness, aiding and abetting, abuse of police powers, theft, gang violence, abduction, kidnapping, cyber harassment.
It's a lot.
All this is right here. Right here. This is a lot of the evidence that you need. And remember, this guy, believe it or not, is still affecting us to this day. Now, we have to hear the other side of the story, but the fact is that they're not delivering, and I don't think they will. And if I were to interview, I don't think they want to bother. So the fact is that they don't want to jump in most likely shows that they are trying to run away. And this is some very, very serious BS that we've got here that's coming out of them.
In November, I mailed an 82-page tell-all from 2014, as I'm telling you, to current, to the ACLU, an 82-page tell-all in detail, everything.
And the ACLU hasn't done much so far.
Or the Victims of Crime, or the Citizens Review Board. I made 4 copies. I mailed the 82-page document to all 4 of those agencies, and nothing had happened. I had done the online complaint forms to the ACLU. Consistently. At this point, my landlord had been home invaded by Sousa 4 times. Sousa had kidnapped me and or abducted me, and
Sousa has kidnapped you.
Yes, I've been telling you on October 16th.
Unbelievable.
He
now,
also killed my friend Kurt Mayer.
So the American Civil Liberties Union. There you have it, folks. The American Civil Liberties Union. By the way, in case if you haven't noticed, I believe they're heavily funded by billionaire George Soros. And instead of helping people like her that actually need it and deserve it, I don't know what in the world they're doing. They're trying to facilitate conflicts and a lot of pushback. They're trying to help divide this country, as it seems. So instead of helping her, they're doing other things. Helping her is true representation of civil liberties, but we're really not seeing this. I've thought about reporting to the ACLU, but it turns out that's really not what's happening.
In November.
Of course, yeah. I mean, these people are heavily colluded. Manendo has ties with the ACLU. By the way, they were the ones, I believe, in this state that helped push the school district to become a sanctuary designation. And they're also, I believe, teaming up with the Culinary Workers Union, a lot of these other groups that are out there, and they're all tied in together. So, and by the way, Sisolak, I think, is getting endorsement from these organizations. So if he becomes governor...
I hope not. Like, I messaged him personally everything, and he told me to not contact him.
Should I go to the county commission and bring this up?
I would love that.
Tuesday?
Yes. 3 people are dead. A mother of 3 is home invaded, pistol whipped her children, and she still does not know why that the burglars were asking for Toby.
Let's ask the audience, why don't you guys all go to the county commissioner's meeting this coming Tuesday, I believe that's when it's at, and talk about this issue. Go say this in the face of Sisolak and all these county commissioners, whether it's Susan Brager, whether it's Jim Gibson, the former mayor of Henderson. Bring this issue up into the table. Or bring this issue to Michelle Tracy right now. If you're watching this locally, bring her story. You want to come to the Tuesday event, this Tuesday event? There's a person that's running for county commissioner. You can bring your story up into the table. And
that.
All right, that would sound great.
Okay. October.
Go ahead. Ladies first.
October 16th, 2016, the days leading up to that, Senator Manendo was intimidating me, belittling me, trying to get me to get in his car. I said, why can't I meet in a safe place where I can talk about police corruption and police brutality? Why can't I have a safe place? You are the advocate, like CEO or something, of Safe Nest. You are an advocate of helping homeless. You are an advocate of helping animal rights. Everything that I needed, he was a representative of. On October 16th, I was abducted.
Don't get in his car.
I know.
Any of these people will do the same thing to me.
But the thing is, the gang members took me to his office address, 3400 Cabana. There was a camera on the mesh door facing down the stairs. There were sheets separating the rooms from the rooms. They wanted to see how much I was worth so they could pay for their friend's bail. There's another victim, too. There are many victims, and maybe they're too scared to come forward, but the senator didn't just he never sexually harassed me. He did a lot worse. I do not want to remain anonymous because I have a boyfriend and I don't want to be in trouble with my boyfriend. The senator aided and abetted police and a gang into intimidating and stalking and harassing a witness of police brutality. I mean, maybe I just...
It's okay. Well,
the
you'll
Rape
get over
Crisis
it.
Center mailed me back saying that they can't help me with my crisis of rape.
Even they can't even help. What has this society has come to? You know, I feel like this guy and these gang units, they're contacting every type of people as they can, so that every direction you turn, you lead to the same dead end or whatever. This is exactly what's happening.
It's hands-free murder. It's COINTELPRO.
And like I said, the only thing we can do is you, the viewer out there, you should actually contact these people, fight for people like her, get the word out, let's work as a community, and let's bring her justice, because she really needs it.
I know, I went above Senator Manendo. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Brian Sandoval. I tell Brian Sandoval, I tell Dinah Titus, I tell Steve Sisolak, I tell Adam Paul Laxalt, Roland Swanson.
Adam Laxalt.
Yes.
Adam Laxalt, by the way, is running for governor. I know a lot of you viewers are supporting Adam Laxalt. He's running for governor. You should bring this issue.
I have the
now,
letters.
Dina Titus, those of you who don't know, she's the congresswoman. I believe covers this area. I don't know if it does. And Governor Sandoval, just to let you know who he is.
Congressman Amodei. Kyle Thomas is chief advisor. Roland Swanson is the chief investigator for Adam Paul Laxalt. They all just want. I have the letters.
It's
they
like
say it's not their jurisdiction. If the Senator Manendo is not the jurisdiction of Brian Sandoval, then why did the senator resign to that governor? I have
Good
the
question.
letters. Yeah, he says not my jurisdiction. Well, why did
so
he resign?
why did he? Okay, tell the viewers, why did Manendo resign? What happened?
Because, I mean, I mailed I wish I kept track of how many people, how many agencies, like I mailed the evidence. I don't know how many copies of these 300 plus texts and messages that I've sent out to try to get people to help me. Nobody would help me. He taunted me. He LOLs me when I'm crying, when I'm hiding. It was the most nerve-wracking year of my life, and I just kept mailing out the ACLU, the National Bar Victims Association, just all these agencies. I mean, something had to give. I don't know who it was exactly, but on April 25th, I got a letter back from the National Crime Bar Association saying that they were dismissing my case, or that there wasn't enough evidence or police reports or something. I'm just reading this like, and then on April 27th, 2 days later, it is brought to light about the senator. I mean, why would she want to remain anonymous if there is a sexual harassment case? I mean, that is his history. I mean, he doesn't really respect women. He believes that FGM is similar to abortion. FGM is...
What, tell the viewers, what is that?
It's female genitalia mutilation. They take a hot needle and burn the clitoris of a woman to make her more obedient. On that committee, or that team, or what chair, it's shared with Congressman Amodei.
The reason why, personally, I can't really feel your pain too much, because I've never been a victim of theft, assault, gang stalking, rape, or any of that stuff. And
my rape detective told me that the rapist's house is abandoned, that no one lives there. That's not true. He grew up there, and he still lives there. I've had people drive by and verify.
There's hardly any abandoned homes in this neighborhood. I mean, this isn't Detroit.
Just why can't I have a proper rape investigation? Like, because when I called 911, when I finally found a phone, because the rapist broke my phone, I called 911 and they said that I have to find somewhere for my dogs to go, because detectives will not help me until I find somewhere for my dogs to go. But that was my, like, where do I go? I was homeless. So then I had the public dealing with the slander and the perjury and the rumors that my boyfriend is a snitch. People were calling me, yeah, sure, I'll help you, Sarah. We'll watch your dogs while you go report your rape. I just take a quick nap because I'm exhausted, been raped in my face, just pummeled. And I wake up to my wallet gone, and my car battery gone, and they're laughing at me, saying, oh, why don't you go get your snitch brat boyfriend? And I said, really? You guys robbed a rape victim? Like, really? This is something that the victims of crime people should be helping me with. I was telling Detective Lang, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't want to help me at all. He just, the last day that he wrote with me, email, text, spoke was September 28th. A lot of things happened on that day. I got a traffic ticket unbeknownst to me. I got a threatening voicemail that I still have of Michael Sousa Ariota. Let's see, Rick Essex had, they call it a botched home invasion. He had went to home invade an old man, and he got nervous, and he went to pull out his gun, and he blew his own leg off. And then 3 hours later, for the second time ever, Senator Manendo contacts me. So I never did hear back from you since 2015. I know it doesn't, maybe I don't make
Well,
sense.
it was just a cover-up, and so the viewers don't see what's exactly going on, you know, in the mainstream establishment media, and that's... So they robbed you, and you got raped, all that stuff. So, you know, I've never seen
anything either, and I filed lawsuits August 28th, 2017. I filed lawsuits against all the detectives, ACLU, Governor Brian Sandoval,
And what happened?
Roland Swanson.
What happened?
Well, I don't know how I'm doing it. So at first it was personal injury. So then I'm combining getting the evidence and then
That's
I
a good
realized
point.
that I need to do, I need to file different. I need to file 1983 civil rights lawsuit. And so then on September 29th, I combined all of my lawsuits together, and I filed a motion. It's motions. There's motions to do all these, and I filed a motion to change civil rights lawsuit, to change the complaint. The jurisdiction is the district court. Learning how to be a lawyer is hard when you're the victim. And then I realized that I can file a complaint towards Aaron Roos, our FBI director, to complain to him about making him do his job by making them do their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they doing their jobs? This is September 29th. Congressman Amodei, Kyle Thomas, all of them, just the National Crime Bar, all these months leading up to, July 15th or 16th was when Senator resigned. Was also the same day that Dean Heller's office was broken into and he was threatened about a health bill.
Mm-hmm.
Also that day, reporter Monica Crowley was talking about how there's like an evil force that are out to get good people in government. It's just like weird coincidences like that. Also in July, Aaron Roos was training shooters that are inexperienced for large areas, open events. It's a news article, you can read it. It's just like a lot of these things took place. And then I'm talking to the FBI, I'm talking to the weeks leading up to, and I'm telling them that I need help. On October 1st, I got a...
So tell...
Sorry, I'm just like...
So, tell us again what happened with the lawsuit. It didn't go through?
I don't know. I don't know the process of it. I'm trying the best I can to get all these things done. But everyone's busy now with the shooting. I mean, October 1st, I got a strange knock on the door by animal control saying that I beat my dogs. He obviously saw I don't beat my dogs, but I was scrambling that day to get things
False
together.
accusations.
Yes, to file my complaint against Aaron Roos, to make him do his job, by making them do their jobs.
So the lawsuit is still ongoing, right?
I believe so, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
go for it. Or you know what? I think all of you should help find her a good attorney. But I don't like to trust a lot of the lawyers here. I mean, especially, this is a neighborhood that I drive around, and I see the same 5 or 10 lawyers advertise in every son-of-a-gun billboard.
They're not good lawyers. They're not real lawyers.
You have this Reza guy and this Adam guy. I keep advertising. But anyway, proceed with that thing with caution. And
well, I was just like, I mean, I've had somebody pretend to be a marshal go to my my friend's house where I have my mail delivered, saying that they want to pick me up to interview me, that they're a federal marshal. But when I called over to the federal marshal's office, they said that they never came there, that wasn't them. I've had people pretend to be private investigators, but they are not.
You see, the one thing I fear is that one day you'll wake up and you'll have cops in your door and accusing you of something you haven't done.
Yeah, probably.
And this is how insane this has become. Like, the only recent time I've encountered the police around here is, you know, it was just driving on the 215. I see, like, lots of people getting traffic tickets, but wow, it's a very, very tough situation. Now, before, in case if we forget, can you tell us about what can people do to help you, other than viewing this and spreading the word?
That's it. That's all you have to do. Once it gets to a certain number of people that know the truth, then everything will be okay.
Right, but can people take this video and take your story and contact the local elected officials? Can they contact council members? Well, both parties, if both parties are willing to. Sandoval
Democrats want to do everything to make themselves look good. They do not want to look bad. They want their way. They want these health bills. They want the other issues you brought up. I mean, they do not want to look bad. Senator Manendo is a Democrat. Why did they hide it? Why did Governor Brian Sandoval tell me that it's not his jurisdiction? Why did
That's BS. You're in the state. What the heck is that supposed to mean?
I even hitchhiked to Carson City to just. I've gone to everywhere. I've mailed.
I don't know.
Forms. I've done everything.
I think he should just assume that you just split the state into two. Clark County, its own state. The rest of the state just in its own. And maybe they should do that, because you have 70% of the people that live in this county, and that's what I think. But there was a time where the opposite was true. 70% of the people live north. But I don't know. I've heard a lot of shady things about Sandoval. I've heard about scandals about him from lots of people that have not gotten reported. But this guy is going to leave office, I believe.
They should all go to prison. Aiding and abetting each other with their crimes.
I guess they should. I can't 100% agree with that, but it looks like that is really the case. This guy is going to leave office in about a year. But we have to see who replaces him. And the fact is that if the system goes into play, we're likely to see Sisolak. We're likely to see the other commissioner, Chris Giuliani, or whatever her name is.
What about that Heidi lady? She's like a Republican.
Heidi Harris, or whatever? The radio show woman?
No. I'll get back to you. She's like
I can't remember, but Adam Laxalt is running, and then there's another guy, he's a small business owner.
He told me, too, that he couldn't help me.
We could really use an outsider. That's what I really hope.
Senator Manendo got a lawyer from California. I mean...
You might as well live in California.
I don't have any...
No, he might as well live in California.
He should live in California, maybe prison.
Well, let's just be glad that we don't live in California, because I have to tell you, yesterday they had a 12-cent gas tax increase. If you're not happy with the gas tax increases over there, or if you're not happy with the tax increases that just happened here recently, you just got to see what's happening in California. It's unbelievable. But we have to see who replaces the guy. But yeah, contact a variety of elected officials. Get the word out there. Those of you who are watching, help her find the right attorney or lawyer, and or even just try to meet up with her. Like, meet up with us. We'll be all together. We can meet each other at a coffee shop. We can set an appointment somewhere. Or,
I mean, all women that are victims of crime, I mean, they can't go to safe nights. They can't go to these helping homeless. It's just like you're put on a list or something.
absolutely.
I mean, I'm not the only female that was violated.
There's varieties. Now, on the other hand, you're hearing that there's a lot of females who falsely accuse of some men that they didn't do. And that's, I guess that's the issue, right?
No, that's not the issue. The issue is, like, stalking of a gang and stalking of a senator and being brought into the senator's office. I mean, she was also brought in there. She's too scared to come forward.
So yeah, so contact council members, contact mayors, county commissioners, congressmen, assembly people, state senator, or just regular senators. Contact all these people, community organizer. Tell everybody about your story, because you're talking something really, really serious out here.
I've been trying.
But I guess that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it in a way that you really have no path.
For 3 months, I lived in a yard. I mean, for a couple months, I lived in the back of a casita where my landlord was home invaded 4 times by Michael Sousa Arriota. The one friend that I had, Kurt Mayer, I met him in July. And the same, when they abducted me, 2 days later, they found Kurt Mayer dead in his room. Sousa bragged to me about killing Rich. He's responsible for killing Fozzie. They left him in a trunk. That mother of 3, she still does not know why her house was targeted. It was simply because the house looks exactly the same as Toby's. It's just 5 houses more east. These people, I mean...
And I hope you haven't seen any dead bodies in your... Have you seen...
No.
Okay, that's good. Because those can give you nightmares, and those can be pretty shocking, but...
I have nightmares, though.
Well, I feel you. Yeah.
I'll be there Tuesday.
Yeah, well... I just hope that they respect you there. You know, I just hope that everything goes well as planned. And a little bit about, look at this, the unbelievable. Look at this. The state has received your form and claim agreement regarding the alleged that occurred in 2016 with your Green Valley Ranch parking. It appears that your allegations are against an employee of the police department, and be advised that the police department is not a state agency and does not pay into the state's self-insured liability fund. I am able to address your allocations and suggest contact the police department for their insurance carrier. Your claim will be closed with no further action. Sincerely, son of a gun. I mean, this is just shocking, you know? I don't know. I guess they just want you to just give up and just put you in the gutter, put you in the black hole. This is just so unbelievable. All this stuff right here. Unbelievable. Wow, and this is and telephone number from
These are
Washington.
There's some boxes.
Yeah. Look at this. State senator collaborating with gang units and all these different things. You know, my question is, reality-wise, what are special interest groups that are benefiting from all this? Like, what? Huh?
Evil.
Like, what kind of special interest groups? I mean, are there certain companies that benefit? Are there certain security companies?
Why does
banks?
Why does Senator Manendo want women that have their babies, and they want to give their babies like what would you say, like a, not abortion, but like they want to give away their babies to remain anonymous? Why would he want the mothers to remain anonymous? Why, so they could just not be any accountable for? I mean, why would the senator?
I don't know.
Want
Maybe
to,
he's.
Why would he want to condone these satanic rituals in Louisiana? I mean, these are all documented things. I mean, like, there's evil in our government. I don't know what else it would be. Why would they?
Well, when has there ever been a time when there has been no evil? I don't know. But I can tell you that the way things were, it seems like 40 years ago, 60 years ago, things were not as corrupt as they are now. Things are getting really, really rough out there. And that's the thing, like, I've never been a real victim of a crime.
Well, Michael Shoemaker, too. I contacted Michael Shoemaker.
Michael Shoemaker, and who was that again?
Citizens Review Board.
Citizens Review Board.
He can't help me. Either.
So there you have it. Even the people you try to ask for help, they can't contact you. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this right here. All this stuff right here.
Again, I go to so many detectives. Detective Brown told me that the detectives investigating the case already will contact me, that Detective Lang will have an answer for me of an outcome of my rape investigation. They never did. And then he contacts me and he says, "Hey lady," like that's not really appropriate to call somebody that's complaining about Metro, say, "Hey lady." I mean,
Holy crap.
No,
Look.
don't.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
It's TMI.
We don't want to do that. Okay.
I just wanted to stick to official documents, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have tons of them.
You mind if I look at it without...
Yeah, sure.
Okay, without showing it to the camera? Okay.
Yeah. That was where I was hiding.
Oh, okay. Looks like you're in front of a beach or something. I don't know.
No, I'm in a barn stall.
I mean, there's no beaches around here.
I'm in a barn stall. But, you know, like...
So what's the goal?
Yeah, what would be the goal of...
What are you...
Is to expose the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, Senator Mark Manendo, and all that support him in aiding and abetting the ridding of witnesses and victims of their brutality. They just rid of us.
Conflicts of interest. So there you have
They need
it.
to be fired and they need to go to prison.
So this is a summary in case if you guys are not fully caught up and kind of lost about what's going on. Because...
This is so huge. This was Aaron Roos. What does Roos mean? It means distraction. It means to cause a stir of an emotion, to awaken from those that were not. I mean, this is distraction, trickery. That's his last name? Really? I mean, James Comey was fired. Why isn't Aaron Roos fired? It doesn't make sense that he's still there. I mean, the way that they're doing investigations, I mean, breaking down barriers, he says. What kind of barriers? Breaking down barriers between illegal and legal search warrant or unlawful and lawful arrest? I mean, what barriers is he talking about? Is he talking about community-oriented policing involving people like Michael Sousa to work with police and Senate to get tough on crime or get tough on victims and witnesses? I mean, who is, like, like, who are they trying to rid of? Criminals or witnesses? There has to be a rise up. I mean, all my phone, I record all my phone calls from September 15th to October 2nd. My phone calls are not, they're not in my phone. They're gone. Those recordings are completely gone. Those 2 weeks, there was a lot of calls, FBI, with Kyle Thomas. I mean, there's a lot of phone calls that I was looking forward to having as candidates. I've just been so overloaded with so much to do. I mean,
I hear you. And you've been working this day and night, every other day. Because you have to fight for your rights. And I appreciate it. I don't blame you.
I
You
don't know
don't
anybody
deserve-
that has gone through this and survived. They don't. I mean,
And I'm sure there's a lot of people around the area that actually have been through similar situations. I hope you've met some people that have been through similar
I came close
chaos.
to meeting one girl, but she just hid. She got scared.
Oh, she's probably too afraid to even...
She came back from the senator's condo beat up.
But you should work together.
That's what I've been trying to tell her. I mean, I told her friend.
Unbelievable. You know, what really pisses me off nowadays is that great people are not being rewarded. And people who are just, in a way, have that awful mindset or just have that bad style are often rewarded or can get respected in society. And this is just really pissing me off. And I haven't been through a lot of BS like that in my life, but sometimes I feel like, and I don't want to sound like I deserve more, but I feel like I should get more appreciation of things that I do. In a lot of things, and I just don't.
You will.
It's just... But of course, you know...
But we don't talk about it here on Earth because that's our reward on Earth. If we just be humble and
exactly. But we have a similar situation. So anyway, we are going to have some final thoughts. So what are some points of view that you want to bring up right now?
I want to bring up like that foreign language message on May 19th. I don't understand what it means. I would like somebody to help me translate it. I contacted Linguistics. I wanted to bring up...
Is it Arabic?
Yes.
Okay,
so
we might have some Arabic followers right here, or listeners. So those, if you guys know Arabic, that would be great.
Also, like on April 2015, Muslim, he got sentenced to 22 years in prison by a U.S. judge who says that he's hacked into our emails, into our social media, that he's going to make us destroy ourselves with ourselves. What is that about? If that's ISIS, then I want to bring up the Harvest 91 Festival, the orange ribbon symbol, that is also a symbol of self-harm awareness.
You know what? I have a feeling that your situation and the Harvest 91 Festival, I think they might have similar interests involved. And there's a lot of reports, this is coming from, you guys should look at this news agency, 360 Daily Net. It's a local news agency.
I remember you telling me.
Yes, features this guy, Rob Lawyer, and a lot of other local elected officials like Michelle Fiore. And they're pointing out that the Route 91 shooting, a lot of what we're told is not coming out to be true as they thought. And they're starting to believe, as it seems, that the sheriff and the resort operators, MGM Resorts, James Moran, all had a conflict of interest in this. I don't know. But what's shocking is that the company MGM Resorts, their stock plunged in September. And they had a massive sell-off in the company. And these all could be clues. And I don't know, maybe these people are involved in your situation.
Yes.
And I don't know that exactly what's going on. Perhaps they have contributed to Menendo's campaign. You have to look at who contributes to Menendo's campaign, by the way.
This was October 8th. It's a distraction. It's a COINTELPRO tactic. One set of lies to one group, a second set of lies to another, and a third set of lies to a third. To distract, disorient, confuse.
Plasma, protein. I don't know what this is really is, but we can show it to the camera.
Something to do with the health bill. There's something to do with also, I mean, there's a lot of things that he needed nobody to get in the way of.
Right.
So talk about Tuesday. Talk about what you guys can do. And talk about getting the community involved.
Okay, so those of you who are out there, speak to the county commission meeting that's coming soon. Speak to the city council meeting of this one that's coming pretty soon. Speak to the Henderson City Council meeting. Let's bring this up with Deborah Marsh. I want to see what she thinks about it. There is a photo I've seen. It's actually in one of my YouTube videos thumbnail where I see Mark Manendo and Mayor Deborah Marsh actually holding each other's arms. I want to know, what does Deborah Marsh actually think about this? I've seen this woman many times. She knows me. So let's bring this up, because what you have is a very intense, complex situation. And I will try to bring this up, but the thing is, there's a lot of other issues I'm working on. Housing affordability. It's not bad, but it could get worse. Just a lot of other issues that I'm really involved in. And there's a lot of people tell me, you should just move out of Clark County. It's just hopeless, lost cause. But I will tell you, the way this place is set up, there is hope. And it's not as manipulated and dead-end as other parts of the country, other parts of the world. And I know there is problems in this area, but this world, this situation we're in, we're at a point where it's like anywhere you go in the world, there's a lot of problems. Europe has problems. China has problems. Africa has problems. Latin America has problems. It's so bad, I don't even think about I want to move there.
It's like if you leave, your problems will follow you.
And
so
the country that my parents come from, it's not doing too well either. California has so much problems. It's just so... A lot of my viewers are from California. It is just getting so out of hand. Now, of course, Montana doesn't have a lot of the problems, but of course, I don't have any desire to move to Montana.
It's beautiful. That's kind of like where I'm from, Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Oh, you're... yeah, tell us a little bit about you. So you're from Saskatchewan. That's north of Montana. And you came to this at what, age 12?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, so sorry about that. It's okay. You don't have to tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, so what we can do is we can spread the word. We can get the awareness out there. And
be kind to one another. And if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. But don't be ignorant either. Do something.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're
stay
amazing.
safe.
You're amazing, and I'm so happy that we're here. It's been an honor, and I'm really looking forward to Tuesday.
Cyrus has to come here and defeat the virus. You know?
You're so up and coming, maybe huge. So
Final thoughts, final comments.
For the third time.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate that. Spread this video as you can. And be aware of potential conflicts that could hit not only her, but even me as well. Because I'm sort of jumping in the bandwagon. And there could be a lot of false accusations, a lot of conflicts. So if something happens to me, be aware. Who knows, they could put something in my tire and I could get in an accident in downtown or right by Summerlin. You have no idea what's going to happen. So, and also Tuesday's event, I'm going to be seeing Michelle Tracy. He is running for commissioner. I spoke to him recently. If you want to go and check it out, I believe it's going to be in a tavern. So we can bring these issues. Now, unfortunately, we can't dominate this issue at the event, but we can talk to a few people about it and see really about what they can do So anyway, thank you guys so much. Sounds like you need a hug right here. Yeah, you'll recover it. Just be glad you're alive. Just be glad you're healthy. You've got a roof over your head. Be glad that it's not Armageddon.
It isn't.
Well, I mean like Armageddon as in like there's riots in the streets, there's natural disasters.
All right.
We hardly get any natural disasters here. That's the good part. I mean, buildings stand still here. We have man-made disasters. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. Take care. And wish you all guys the best. Stay safe.